Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mindset Mentress podcast. This is episode number 23. This week, as we are going into the New Year's, I figured a lot of us may have goals, a lot of us may have new visions and dreams for ourselves that we want to work towards in 2025. And I figured I'll just come out here and tell you the three mindset shifts that I use consistently over the last 4 years where I've been trying to build my online personal brand with my travel and my creative pursuits and my podcast and my writing and all of that I do. These are the three mindset hacks that I consistently come back to every single time I am heading towards a new path or every single time I have a new goal that I want to accomplish. So welcome and grab your popcorn, your water, your juice, whatever it may be to join the conversation. The number one most important mindset hack you need to embody towards a life of success is to realize that no one actually cares about you. Okay, you have to come to terms with the understanding that the world actually doesn't care about you. And yes, at the beginning you might feel like, "Oh my goodness, what do you mean no one cares about me?" But let me tell you, this is the most freeing idea. This is the most freeing mindset that you can adopt because no one is thinking about you as much as you may think that they're thinking about you. Everyone is busy thinking about themselves just as you should be busy thinking about yourself. So when you fundamentally understand this mindset, you are now all of a sudden free to be the bestest, most highest version of yourself. The world is actually a very fickle place. People are very fickle. So one day you might do something really, really well that may be a huge hit and everybody's clapping for you. And the next day something else might happen which may flop, and all of a sudden those same people that raised you up will turn on you. And yes, you can sit there and be sad about it, but realizing that the world is a very fickle place, people are very fickle, people truly only care about themselves. These are not bad things, right? These are things that help you in survival. Realizing this truth will help you become free in expressing yourself in your full form. You can now do whatever you want to do and not worry about what people will think about you. Yes, and I'm not saying people will never criticize you. I'm not saying people will never speak about you behind your back. I'm never saying people will have an adverse reaction to you. All of these things will happen. But end of the day, who cares? All of that criticism is going to pass. All of this criticism and all those people who said those things to you, about you, behind your back, all these things, eventually people are going to go back to their own lives and become busy living their own lives. And then what? If you hold yourself back and if you keep yourself small and if you dim your light so other people are not bothered by it, so you can keep the peace with other people, what is that actually doing? What it's actually doing is just making you feel small. It makes you feel unaccomplished. It makes you be stuck in the same patterns. It allows you to never fully experience what life has waiting for you. When you realize that people don't actually care about you, you are all of a sudden free of that public shame that you may feel from failure. One of my biggest fears is failing publicly. Every time I put myself out there on social media, a video or an audio, whatever I put out on social media, I was so scared that, oh my goodness, like if it did not get this many likes, if it did not reach this many people, like that is so shameful. Or if I fail in a certain project, that is so shameful. But guess what? That was all just in my head. Sure, people might have in that moment been like, oh, she failed in this. But then what? Move on. People move on and they do other things. Just think about the number of times you actually sit down and think about what other people are doing. I'm sure you think about it, but it's not, so life-changing. It's not so heavy on you that someone else is failing that person shouldn't continue to get up and go. When you realize that no one actually cares about you, it gives you the freedom to not only freely express yourself and express your inner world, it allows you to also be comfortable with public judgment and public failure. And it also allows you the opportunity to get back up over and over and over again. You continue to show up for yourself over and over and over again. And not because what showing up for yourself will get you, But because of the simple fact that when you keep showing up for yourself consistently over and over and over again, you develop this intense love for yourself. You develop this intense love for your craft and for the thing that you're trying to accomplish. You're just putting in the reps over and over and over again. And at the end of the day, you are only responsible for what you can do. You're not responsible for what you can get. Yes, you can believe that putting in this effort is going to get you that thing, but it may not get you that thing. Along that path, you might meet new people. You might get new opportunities that might change your mindset perspective to go for other things that are probably more aligned for you and aligned for your soul. The second mindset I'm going to talk about is this belief in knowing that everything, absolutely everything that is happening for you, especially the setbacks, especially the failure, especially the breakups, especially the heartbreak, especially all the bad stuff that happens to you. You realize it's actually happening for you. And I have social media likes to call this the lucky girl mindset, right? The lucky girl syndrome. In my mind, anytime something bad happens to me or anything that goes opposite to what I had planned, I immediately twist it in my mind into being something of positive nature. So I was pretty much bullied my entire childhood for being really overweight and, being dark skinned and chubby and all these things, which were considered to be really unattractive in India when I was growing up, at least. And thinking back to those times, I think those moments, sure, it felt really bad in the moment, but those moments are what shaped me to be who I am today. The kind of resilience that I have, the kind of internal confidence that I have within myself, the kind of ability to look at myself in the mirror and accept me for who I am and the way I look, regardless of what everybody or anybody is saying outside of me, that was only possible because of the bullying that happened when I was younger. Because of the bullying that happened about my weight when I was younger, I am now so vigilant about being healthy and being in shape. And I'm not saying, being overweight is good or bad. I'm not even getting into all that, right? Me wanting to be in my best shape for me, if that didn't happen when I was younger, I maybe wouldn't be so vigilant about my physical health and being in shape. I was always, also when I was younger, I was always kind of like the black sheep. I never fit in. I never had a lot of friends. And I guess in a way that I was an underdog, right? Yes, in the moment, it was not fun. No one wants to be left out. No one wants to feel like the black sheep. But let me tell you, being the black sheep, being the underdog, being the one overlooked and ignored is the best thing that could happen to me. And it's probably the best thing that could happen to you as well if you resonate with that. Because what happens when you are overlooked and you are the black sheep is that nobody has any expectations of you. What does this mean? This means the only person that can have expectations of you is you. Only person who can have a vision and goal for themselves is you. Nobody's telling you what goals to have. Nobody's telling you how to achieve those goals. Nobody's breathing down your neck telling you to do this, and this to meet that goal. You are fully in charge of your goals, your destiny, your success, your life. And that is the best thing that could happen to you. I always say this, being the underdog, being the black sheep, being the one that never fit in, being the one that no one really expected anything of, that is the best thing that could happen to you because you are the only one in charge of that. And you get to set that goal for yourself. You get to set that vision for yourself. Only you get to have that ceiling for yourself that you can shatter. And I know a lot of us are probably going through heartbreak of some kind in this time period. And all I want to say to that, and all I want to say to people experiencing heartache is congratulations. And, it might sound like I don't have a heart. It might sound really cold. But trust me, going through heartbreak is the best thing. It is the best thing that could happen to you. And I will say this as long and as many times I need to say it. If you are going through heartache, if someone betrayed you, if someone hurt you, if you are going through a breakup, that is the best thing that can happen to you. It can happen for you, and congratulations. Because what comes out of heartache? You learn how to get up again. You learn how to appreciate yourself again. You put the pieces back together for yourself again. And while you're doing it, I'm not saying it's easy. It is definitely a journey. I mean, it's a difficult journey. But what you learn from that journey, nothing else can prepare you for. Nothing else can prepare you for a life of resilience, a life of ambition and motivation and drive like heartbreak will do. So, all I'm going to say for people going through heartbreak is congratulations, because that is honestly the best thing that could happen for you. And you have no idea what is awaiting on the other side for you. And it's all on you. It's all on you to recognize that there is something on the other side for you. And it's all on you to have the abundance mindset, to realize that there is better out there for you, not just in terms of another relationship, but in terms of a whole life that's ahead waiting for you. And going after those things and going after that and enjoying the journey along the way is the best thing that could happen for you. And number 3, the last mindset hack that I want to talk about in this episode is, no matter what you do, no matter what vision you have for yourself, no matter what your goal is, always build it upon authenticity. Always. Because if you try to build something to be like somebody else, to replicate somebody else's achievements, you may get it, but it's not going to feel worth it. It's not going to feel like you're living your dream. You're going to feel like you're living somebody else's dream. And then you're going to sit there wondering, well, what was the point? Why did I work so hard? Sure, I got what I wanted because I modeled myself after this other person and their achievements, and I followed this path, but I don't feel like myself, and it's not very fulfilling. Following your authenticity, yes, is scary, because there's only one of you and there's only your path that you can take. No one has taken that path before. Following your authenticity is going to be uncomfortable because you don't know how people are going to receive it. But that's when you go back to the point number 1 we talked about, where no one actually cares about what you do. And building a life of authenticity is going to make the journey so fulfilling. And most importantly, authenticity is going to make it not feel like work. When you build anything off of authenticity, either a personal brand or a business or a goal or whatever it is, when you build it on your authenticity, it's going to come to you so naturally. It's going to flow through you so easily that when you do more and more of that thing that comes to you so naturally, you actually feel more energized by it. Versus when you, in the other way, like when you're not doing stuff out of authenticity, you're going to keep doing, and you're going to feel exhausted. I don't know about you, but I rather do something that feels natural to me, that feels organic and authentic, and when I'm more of in a flow state, then that energizes me, and then I have more energy after I do it than just do, and then just feel just drained and just not in alignment. And end of the day, the results aren't even going to be really fulfilling. Say no to the things that don't align with your vision or your goal. A lot of the times we say we want something, but something that may not really be 100% that thing that you want, it maybe checks off a few boxes, and you're not really fully satisfied in that moment. It's very easy for us to be like, well, at least it has this, and this, and kind of settle. Don't do that. Don't settle for things. Don't say yes to things that are not 100% in alignment with what you want. And say no. Get comfortable saying no to things. And also sometimes you may have to say no to some really great opportunities. For example, with my social media, if you follow me on social media in general, or you have been over the last 4 years, you'll see that I don't really endorse things on social media. I don't really sell a lot of things on social media because I fundamentally don't really believe in things. I don't believe that people should accumulate things and spend money on things. I have a very interesting relationship with capitalism, and I don't believe that you need to have the best designer bags, and I don't believe you need to have all these big designer things and stuff. But what I believe in is experiences. I believe that people should spend more time engaging and experiencing things. I talk a lot about travel. The only thing that I've really sold on my page is stuff related to travel and experience. So I sell my group trips. That too, I do like maybe 1 or 2 a year. And I've talked about travel apps and other travel related equipment and things. but I'll never come on social media and say and ask you to buy things. I did open up my Amazon shop a while ago and I shut it down because it just felt very not in alignment with who I am, because I have another interesting relationship with these companies as well, but it fundamentally doesn't align with my philosophy, and so I don't do it. Now, would it be good money to just jump into it and just sell things online because I can? Yeah, but what's the point of that? That's not going to make me feel fulfilled, and I'm not going to have, like we speak about in another episode. If you haven't watched that episode, I'll link it at the end of this video where I talk about abundance versus scarcity. I don't believe that I need to do things because it's easy money while I compromise my authenticity, or where I compromise what I preach for. I try very hard to only share with you on here, to only preach about things that I actually believe in and actually practice. So having to say no to a lot of things is a part of my personal life philosophy, and it has been more peaceful. The more I continue to do the things that I actually am enjoying and am passionate about, life has just been more of flow and just calm and peace every morning. And I can wake up in the morning and read a book and drink coffee and not have a lot of stress and worry in my mind. And the last thing I kind of want to end this episode as we go into 2025 is to say to you that regardless of what you got or not got out of this episode, always, always, always follow your excitement. Follow your excitement, because your excitement, things that are driving you internally, are all coming from a very divine place. And you guys know we always talk about spirituality and divinity in this podcast. So every time you follow that insight, that intuition, that excitement, it is coming from your soul, and your soul is always trying to align you to the path that is of your highest good and for your highest good. So in 2025, I hope all of you continue to just follow your excitement. Say no when you need to say no. Say yes to everything that even slightly excites you. Realize that people are fickle, people will come and go, but your authenticity what will stand. And when you stick to your authenticity and stick to who you truly are as a person, you will just enjoy this journey of life. The destination might be what you think it's going to be, or it might be something totally different. But the journey will undeniably be everything that you could ask for, and sometimes even more. With that, that is the conclusion. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, like and comment on this video. Also follow me on Spotify. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, all of that is linked in the bio. Another thing that I do is I take people on group trips around the world. We have taken people to Morocco, Thailand, and Greece. And in 2025, I'm taking a group to Peru. So if you want to join me in May of 2025 in Peru, the itinerary, the booking link, everything is in the description. It has been a fun opportunity for people to come together to get to know each other and hang out with each other, all while you're exploring a whole new destination. Signups are going to be open till end of January, maybe a little bit into February, but if you are interested, now is the time to book. And thank you guys as always for tuning in. I am your host, Nikki K, and I will see you next week with another fun episode. Bye, guys.